One lone Marvel executive is defending the MCU after that hack fraud Martin Scorsese's recent criticism of the franchise. The legendary fraud hasn't been quiet when it comes to his thoughts on comic book movie making. Back in 2019, he made headlines by comparing superhero films to theme parks rather than cinema of human beings, trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences. This caused names like Spider-Man actor Tom Holland, who is no longer Spider-Man, and now DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn, who definitely does not have an agenda in any way at all, now that he's a co-CEO, to push back and defend the genre. Scorsese has drawn the ire of comic book fans yet again after he reiterated these sentiments, calling comic book movies a danger to the medium of film in an interview with GQ. Is anything Scorsese saying actually wrong, though? All these articles are doing is vindicating him, if anything. Marvel executive and Loki producer Kevin Wright, not to be confused with Kevin Wright, or Kevin Wright, recently defended the MCU following controversial comments from filmmaker Martin Scorsese in this article I'm reading here today, via AI. In response to Scorsese's critiques, Wright told Geeks of Color, a very esteemed and touted news publication. He said with a straight face that these projects are built with a lot of love and care, and would challenge anyone watching to say that it's not cinematic. To which I respond, challenge accepted. Any of these shows, any of these movies, anything in this world is about making a character-focused story that audiences can connect with. What audiences could connect with a god of mischief and his shenanigans, I wouldn't know personally. I would challenge anyone watching to say that this show is not cinematic and it's not built with the highest craftsmanship and care. Keep in mind, these shows up until this year have been made without showrunners. He continued, people just want to see good stories, whether they're superhero or small indie films. I agree, but I'd like to ask, where are these stories? They certainly aren't being told by Disney. If you build something beautiful, the audience is going to enjoy it, whether it's a show like this or an indie film. Just wanted to point out, we're repeating ourselves a lot here. This comes after Scorsese referred to comic book fare as a danger to culture. Scorsese says the danger there is what it's doing to our culture. Because there are going to be generations now that think movies are only those. That's what movies are. By those, he's referring to movies only being big, bloated superhero films. He continues, they already think that, which means that we have to then fight back stronger, and it's got to come from the grassroots level. It's got to come from the filmmakers themselves. Hit them from all sides, and don't give up. Let's see what you got. Go out there and do it. Go reinvent. Don't complain about it. But it's true, because we've got to save cinema. I do think that the manufactured content isn't really cinema. He also referred to the genre as manufactured content, remarking, it's almost like AI making a film. If we're calling spades here, is he wrong? Aren't these films test screened with audiences to find the perfect balance and to appeal to as many people as possible? But why does the MCU keep getting attacked by one filmmaker in particular? And why can't the MCU take an ounce of criticism? These latest comments from Scorsese and subsequent defenses by Kevin Wright have become commonplace over the years. Dune director Denis Villeneuve called Marvel movies cut and paste and made by zombies, which names like Doctor Strange director Scott Derrickson clapped back against. Anyone who lambasts Marvel movies as all being the same has either A, not seen them all and therefore shouldn't assume they're all the same, or B, seen them all because, hey, they actually quite like watching Marvel movies. Quite the clapback there. I can see why we chose to include it here. Famous hack auteur Neil Blomkamp said something even funnier. Quote, what a fucking asshole. At least Neil got to the point, LOL. Even Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has had to speak up on the subject, saying, I think that's not true. I think it's unfortunate. I think myself and everyone who works on these movies loves cinema, loves movies, loves going to the movies. loves to watch a communal experience in a movie theater full of people, right? I mean, who better than to give an objective statement about the state movies are in than the CEO of the MCU himself, who's done nothing but profit off these films? These prestigious filmmakers seem to have taken issue with Marvel movies being the predominant form of the medium, at least from a financial standpoint. The person writing the article really doesn't see the problem with big bloated superhero movies being the standard. It has always been fun to pick apart the cool kid on the block, and this is no exception. Talk about tone deaf. While Scorsese and these detractors' arguments may have some elements of validity, it does come off a little whiny. Yes, these award-winning, prestigious filmmakers are making a big fuss about the art they love to craft being turned into corporate slop. Just consume product, don't analyze or think about it. Just consume more product. If anything, these comments should push the powers that be at Marvel Studios to try and prove them wrong. If the likes of Scorsese don't see the genre as a valid form of filmmaking, make something so great even they cannot deny its merit. What do you mean, make something so great that they can't deny it? So Scorsese's arguments are completely valid then. How do you end the article saying nothing Marvel's made is profound and Scorsese not being a shill is valid? Dude, learn to lick the bootstraps better than this. Talk about shameful. New episodes of Loki Season 2 come to Disney every Thursday at 9 p.m. ET.